Welcome to Singapore Property Talk Law. This is where we dive deep, cut through that noise, and hopefully give you those really useful aha moments.
Glad to be here.
Today, we're really plunging into a big one. A high-profile corporate drama that's been making some serious waves. It's this intricate saga involving the co-founders of Fullerton Healthcare Corp.
Mm-hmm.
And look, this isn't just some dry accounting story, okay? It's really a compelling narrative. Think trust, alleged deception, and a legal outcome that, frankly, sends ripples way beyond the people directly involved.
Absolutely.
So we're going to unpack the key players, the core allegations, and try to figure out what this all means for, corporate governance here in Singapore.
Yeah.
And hey, if you find this useful, if you get something out of this deep dive, please do us a solid like it and subscribe to the channel. That way you won't miss our future insights into this, complex world around us.
Definitely. And what's really fascinating here, I think, is seeing how seemingly isolated actions, things that might look small at first, can actually cascade through an entire corporate structure.
Right.
It reveals these layers of connections and charges. It just underscores the real world complexities of business ethics and accountability, especially right at the top.
So it builds up over time.
Yeah, we're going to see how a series of events kind of built up to where we are now, this very public situation.
Okay, let's unpack this then, to start.
Right.
Who are the main figures, the central people in this story, and what's the company at the heart of it all?
Right.
So we're talking about Fullerton Healthcare Corporation, or FHC. You can think of FHC as the parent company, the investment holding company. And its main operating arm was Fullerton Healthcare Group, FHG. They were the ones delivering those big healthcare solutions. And there was also Fullerton Health China.
Got it.
Now, the main players, there are three co-founders and one other really key external figure. First up, David Sin. He's 46, and he's been central to the most recent news.
Yes.
He initially invested in FHC through his own company, Sin Capital Group, way back in 2013. Later, he became FHC's president and deputy chairman. Pretty high up.
Very high.
Then there's Daniel Chan Pai Sheng, 51, a medical doctor by training. He co-founded FHG back in 2010.
Right.
And he was also the former president of Fullerton Health China, plus the director of Fullerton Healthcare Group and Fullerton Health itself. Lots of hats.
Yeah, involved across the board, it seems.
And the third co-founder, Michael Tan Kim Song, also 51, also a medical doctor, co-founded FHG with Chan in 2010. He was a former director at FHG.
Okay.
Now here's a key detail. Tan was not implicated in the specific falsified claims that David Sin was just fined for. That's important to know.
Good distinction. Yes.
And finally, there's Collin Chiew, 57. He's the former CEO of the insurance broker Aon Singapore from about 2015 to 2018. And then later, he was a director at AIA Hong Kong in 2019.
Understanding these roles is absolutely crucial. Their authority within Fullerton Healthcare and for Chiew, his influence in those external partner companies like Aon and AIA, that really provides the context for the alleged offenses and, frankly, the sheer scale of the potential impact.
Yeah.
It's a real testament to the fact that power and position, they just come with immense responsibility, especially when it comes to financial integrity.
Okay, so that sets the stage. Now, here's where it gets, really compelling. The most recent development that brought this whole saga right into the spotlight, August 21st, 2025. David Sin pleaded guilty. 6 counts of falsification of accounts.
6 counts.
Yeah, and just to be clear, falsification of accounts, that means intentionally altering or, misrepresenting financial records to mislead people.
Deliberately misleading.
Exactly. The court fined him $160,000. He's paying it in installments.
Okay.
The amounts involved in these counts, the ones he pleaded guilty to, total over $213,000. Basically, Sin admitted he approved claims that Daniel Chan submitted, knowing they were false.
Knowing they were false. That's key.
Right. The claims added up to over $334,000, but the actual expenses, less than $120,000. That's a pretty big difference.
Huge discrepancy, yeah.
And a crucial detail the prosecution really stressed, Sin didn't personally profit financially from these specific offenses.
Right. No direct financial gain from those specific acts.
Correct. And interestingly, on the same day, Sin was also discharged, essentially acquitted on 7 other graft charges, which means he can't be charged again for those specific corruption allegations.
Okay, so that specific outcome for David Sin, fined for falsification, but without direct personal gain from those offenses. It really does raise a profound question about corporate oversight, doesn't it?
How so?
Well, what does it mean when a co-founder or a senior executive approves claims they know are false, even if they aren't personally pocketing the cash from that specific transaction?
Yeah.
This isn't just about theft in the simple sense. It's about a complete breakdown of internal controls. It's an erosion of trust right at the highest levels.
Right. The checks and balances failed.
Exactly. It really spotlights a crucial lesson for anyone in leadership. Turning a blind eye to things that aren't right, even if it doesn't directly enrich you, that's still a serious breach, a breach of fiduciary duty of corporate governance.
So it suggests a kind of cultural issue where rules were bent or ignored.
It certainly indicates a culture, perhaps, where internal checks were either bypassed or, well, just not taken seriously enough.
Okay, so that's Sin's recent conviction. What does this finding mean for the bigger picture? Because as you hinted, this wasn't just about those specific false claims, was it?
No, not at all.
The whole narrative points to a much larger alleged scheme, one involving what the law calls gratification.
Yes, gratification.
Which, let's be clear, in this context basically means alleged bribes or illicit payments.
That's right.
The core allegation is that Sin, Chan, and Tan conspired together. They allegedly gave gratification totaling $668,000.
Wow, $668,000.
A huge sum, allegedly given to Collin Chiew on multiple occasions, spanning from 2015 to 2019.
Okay, over several years.
And the alleged reason for these payments? To advance the business interests of Fullerton Health, first with Aon Singapore, where Chiew was CEO, and then later with AIA Hong Kong, where he was a director.
So if we connect that to the broader landscape, you see how financial impropriety can stretch way beyond internal accounting fiddles or, one rogue employee.
Right, it's affecting external deals.
Exactly. It reaches into the very core of external business relationships. And Daniel Chan's alleged role in this bribery scheme is particularly detailed. It paints quite a picture of the alleged mechanism.
Okay, tell us about that.
He's accused of falsifying entertainment claims between 2016 and 2019. The allegation is he defrauded FHC and Fullerton Health China. The actual expenses were about $169,000, but they were allegedly inflated to around $440,000.
Well, that's nearly triple.
Yeah, over 150% inflation. He then allegedly used these inflated amounts, the extra cash generated, to fund the bribes paid to Chiew.
I see. So the false claims funded the alleged bribes.
That's the alleged link. Specifically, Chan allegedly arranged for $348,000 in bribes to Chiew while he was CEO of Aon Singapore. That's between 2015 and 2018.
Okay.
And then another $320,000 when Chiew moved to AIA Hong Kong as a director in 2019.
So the alleged payments followed Chiew to his new role.
It appears so, based on the charges. And Michael Tan and David Sin also face charges of conspiring with Chan in these alleged offenses. Tan faces 5 charges, and Sin has 8 additional counts related to this wider conspiracy, on top of the ones he pleaded guilty to.
Right.
And Collin Chiew, the alleged recipient, he faces 6 counts of allegedly receiving these bribes, this gratification, plus a money laundering charge.
Money laundering, too.
Yes, for apparently using $115,000, which came from $160,000 in alleged criminal proceeds to buy a landed property over at Baydock Terrace.
Wow. Okay, it really is a tangled web, isn't it? All these transactions and alleged purposes. How did this whole arrangement supposedly start? Did they just decide one day, or?
That's a crucial question, yeah. It sheds light on the alleged mechanics. The court heard details suggesting that back in 2018, Daniel Chan apparently approached Mr. Tai Chu Pink.
Okay, crazy.
He was a director on David Sin's own environment firm's team, Sin Capital's investment team in Hong Kong. Sin had employed him since 2014.
Right, so someone trusted by Sin.
Presumably. Chan allegedly told Mr. Tai that certain business expenses would need to be paid out of Fullerton Health China's accounts, and specifically using inflated entertainment invoices.
So that was the proposed method to get the extra funds.
That was the alleged mechanism put forward. Chan also allegedly told Mr. Tai that Michael Tan, the other co-founder, had already consented to this arrangement.
Okay.
Mr. Tai then relayed this information to David Sin, and the prosecution stated that Sin then consented to the arrangement.
So that connects back to Sin's guilty plea for falsification.
It seems directly related. And David Sin's legal defendant for those falsification charges. His lawyers argued that he, quote, trusted and assumed his co-founders had good reasons for this payment method.
The trust defense.
Yes, but they added he, quote, accepts that he ought to have done better and should not have turned a blind eye to the breach of corporate governance.
So an admission of negligence, at least.
Exactly. That defense, while it acknowledges a lapse, it really highlights that tension, doesn't it? Between trust among longtime colleagues, partners even, and the absolute duty of care you have in a leadership role.
Yeah, you can't just assume everything's okay.
No. It's a stark reminder that even just passively accepting improper practices, sort of letting things slide, that can lead to significant legal and ethical trouble.
Okay, so given all of that, David Sin's sentencing for the falsification, these wider allegations, where do things stand now for the others involved?
Right. The cases involving Daniel Chan, Michael Tan, and Collin Chiew are all still pending before the courts.
Still ongoing.
Very much so. Remember, all three co-founders and Chiew were formally charged back in February 2024. And importantly, none of the individuals involved still hold their previous positions in those companies. That's a pretty standard outcome when such serious allegations surface.
Makes sense. And what about Fullerton Health itself, the company? How did this all even come to light?
Yeah.
And how did they react when these, incredibly serious allegations about their co-founders emerged?
That's a really vital part of the story because it speaks to corporate responsibility, right?
Yeah.
Fullerton Health itself actually confirmed that the whole incident was initially brought to their management's attention by a whistleblower.
Ah, a whistleblower inside the company.
It seems so, which really powerfully illustrates something, doesn't it? Often, it's not the external auditors, but it's internal vigilance and, maybe more importantly, a culture that actually supports whistleblowers that brings the most complex corporate misconduct out into the open.
That's a really good point. So what did the company do then?
Well, in response to the whistleblower's information, Fullerton Health commissioned independent investigations, not one, but two, by external professional parties.
Okay, thorough.
And they promptly reported the matter to the authorities and stated they've been cooperating fully. They also made it crystal clear that they have absolutely no dealings with a company called Straits Priority Consulting, which was initially linked to some of the alleged bribe payments. They really wanted to distance themselves firmly from any connection there.
Okay, so they acted quite decisively once it came out.
It appears so. And just to add a sort of human element, or maybe just show the legal process continuing, David Sin was actually granted court approval back in June 2024 to leave Singapore for 2 months.
Oh, really? While facing other charges?
Yes. To visit his family in China and for a medical follow-up, he had to post an additional $100,000 in bail on top of his original $200,000.
Right.
It just shows that even with his recent sentencing for the falsification part, the legal wheels for the other charges he faced at the time and for the others involved are still very much turning.
Wow. What a deep dive.
Yeah.
It's a truly complex corporate saga, isn't it? We've seen how alleged falsified claims, even ones where apparently there wasn't immediate personal financial gain for one person, how that can spiral into this much broader alleged bribery scheme, touching multiple high-level people, multiple companies. It's just a stark reminder, I think, of the huge responsibilities that come with leadership roles.
Absolutely. And if you connect this to the broader implications, this case really does highlight that immense responsibility, especially when it comes to financial oversight and simply ethical conduct.
Yeah.
It's not just about knowing the rules on paper. It's about actively building and upholding a culture of integrity, making sure those robust internal controls are not just there, but that they're actually followed, respected.
And that people feel they can speak up, like the whistleblower did.
Precisely. There's always more to learn, I think, about how systemic weaknesses can be exploited and conversely how proactive, genuinely ethical leadership can potentially prevent these situations from escalating in the first place.
It really makes you think, doesn't it, about those layers of trust, accountability, and the severe consequences when those things get compromised.
Definitely does.
So maybe something for you, our listener, to reflect on after this. What systems or maybe what cultural shifts do you think companies really need? What do they need to implement to ensure these kinds of alleged schemes are identified and hopefully stopped before they escalate like this? And maybe just as importantly, what crucial role does simple individual integrity play in maintaining a truly healthy corporate environment?
Good questions to ponder.
Thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive on Singapore Property Talk Law. We really hope you feel better informed and maybe a little intrigued too. Catch you on the next one.